dbrand. You may know them from their incessant savagery on Twitter. It's something I personally admire. They love roasting people. It's something I look up to, and it's worked out pretty well for them so far. Check out how many followers they have. And this isn't just a result of their excellent marketing strategies. It's because they make excellent products. I'm here to tell you that in this video. This is not sponsored in any way by dbrand. I'm not being paid for this review. I'm not being compensated in any other way that I can think of. And this skin was purchased by me out of pocket. So if I was dissatisfied by it, I would tell you up front. But I'm not dissatisfied by it. The installation process was a bit tricky. You'll see that here in a second. But the end result is, it's beautiful. So that's what I want to get to next. Installation. It was not an easy process, and I didn't expect it to be. I always wondered how these people managed to get their skins perfect on their laptops and phones. I always see pictures being retweeted by dbrand on Twitter, and I'm like, how are they doing this? How are these people doing this? It's not dbrand doing them. A lot of these pictures they're retweeting are just customers who purchase the products and then take pictures of the end result. The customers themselves are applying the skins, and now that I've done it for the first time, I'm actually impressed by what some of these people were able to do. Granted, dbrand does include step-by-step tutorials for all of the products they offer. They're linked on their website as well as YouTube, so you can check those out. The one for the Galaxy S7 I've linked in the video description if you are curious. Here's a sample of that video. Typical dbrand humor is included. Have a listen.
Begin by installing the camera skin using a Glock 17. Now that that's out of the way, let's apply the back piece. Remove the skin from the 3M paper and reattach as shown. Align around the camera, flash, and top border. Once aligned properly, apply pressure to the exposed portion. Next, remove the 3M paper, reattach as shown, and turn the phone upside down.
So apart from the fact that a heat gun or hair dryer is recommended for particularly the corners of the skins, getting these to wrap around the contours of the phone, they recommend using some sort of heat gun for that. And that's because it's difficult to get these skins to stretch over curved surfaces, as you can imagine. So that was something I didn't expect going into it, but I had one on hand. I just borrowed it from a friend. It was a girl. I don't own one myself, even though you probably think I do. I will admit though, this took about 3 or 4 tries to do, particularly the back skin. That's the one I started with first, and so I'm kind of going into this cold turkey. I was looking at the tutorial, but they make it seem so much more simple than it actually is. They'll say, make sure this is lined properly and then press firmly to secure the skin over the phone. And then they'll move on to the next step. Well, that's the part that takes the longest to do. So make sure you pause the video and get this right, because if it's not right, it's going to bother you, especially if you're someone like me who's very OCD about things being perfectly aligned. If you have trouble doing that, if you don't have some very precise hands and you can't hold things still, this installation will be difficult, point blank. Thankfully though, no major red flags on my 4th attempt. There is one bubble right there. You probably can't see it though, even with the camera zoomed in up close. It's very small, and that's just the result of me removing this skin 3 or 4 times to get it aligned properly. Like anything else, especially screen protectors that you have to, be very particular with on smooth surfaces, you will get bubbles if you continue removing things and reapplying things. The adhesive weakens. All that you should take into consideration. Just make sure that you align it as closely to the contours of the phone as you can the first time, and you won't have to deal with what I dealt with. I got impatient because I kept thinking I had it right, and then I'd start to lay it down, and then nope, pull it back, and then sometimes it would stick anyway, and problems arise. Okay, my brother is here. I'm going to see if he can point out the flaws. He's been looking hard for about 15-20 seconds now. So obviously I know where they are because I'm the one who put it on there, but to somebody else who sees the phone for the first time with the skin on...
Is this a little bump?
Ah, he found the bump.
Yeah,
he found the bump. Alright.
That means there might be another one. That one right there?
Yeah, that's a tiny... Actually, yeah, I wasn't going to count that one, but fine if you want to be picky. Where it's off-centered is down here. Look at the home button down there. That's where you'll see it.
Oh yeah, the home button.
See how the top left is up, kind of away from the button?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only other issue I had. The only other flaw. But apart from that, it turned out decent. I'd say, what do you think, like an 80, 85 out of 100?
Probably 90.
90? All right, I'm getting an A. All right, I'm getting an A. Cool. The only other thing worth mentioning, especially for phone skins that I didn't think about going into this, is the fact that the skin itself is slightly thicker than a piece of paper, and this might vary from texture to texture the dbrand offers. But because of this, you can certainly feel where the screen on your phone ends and the skin begins. So the screen is slightly recessed into the phone. It doesn't bother me, but it's not going to be a smooth surface like you might expect on a random naked phone, I guess you could say. So something else to keep in mind. Other than that, I do think you will be 100% satisfied with the skin. The application is a royal pain. It just is. But the end result, I think, is worth it. I do it all over again on another phone I got, hands down. In fact, I don't think I'm ever going to own a phone that's not skinned ever again, because this looks beautiful. It's just unique. Granted, a lot of people have this white marble that I have here, but it's not a typical Galaxy S7 anymore. I love that. I love being different. That's what dbrand is for. Debranding your phone and making it look the way you want it to look. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down if you feel the complete opposite, or if you hate everything about life, be sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Stay tuned for stuff. This is Salazar Studio. Thanks for learning with us.